So first and foremost, Happy New Year, Happy 2026. I wish you all the best, and I just want for you guys to have an amazing year, but don't fall into trap, please, because the year can't be amazing unless you actually work for it. A lot of people a lot of people set their new year resolutions wanting to, I don't know, make some money online, escape their 9 to 5s, travel the world and shit, but nothing changes if nothing changes, you know? By the fucking 31st of January, all those new resolutions are just thrown in a bin and yeah, they forget about those. They stop taking actions, you know? And in this video, I want to show you exactly how in 2025, so last year, I traveled the world. I traveled to six, seven, I think seven different places. Yeah, I traveled to seven different places as a 22-year-old Croatian guy who makes his full-time income fully online. And in this video, I want to show you exactly how I was able to do so because trust me, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I break it down in five different steps. In five different steps. And what I'm trying to say here that anyone can do it because I started as a 19-year-old. You know, I started as a random 19-year-old guy who, you know, didn't even work a single day in of 9 to 5 in his life. And yeah, I just decided to, you know, do it or just die. Literally do or die time it was. I sold my PS5 to invest in my education. I just made it happen because I was absolutely penniless. But that's not the whole point. The whole point, I mean, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just trying to help you understand that you can do the same. Absolutely. And I started my year, I started my year the same as anyone else probably. Setting New Year resolutions, thinking of some new goals that I would like to reach and stuff. And it was going amazing. I hit my record month with my online business, and as soon as I was about to scale, I got banned. My Instagram got shut down completely for no reason whatsoever. And I had to do what every man in that situation usually does. I just took a step back and started building a foundation for something bigger that will serve me, I hope, forever. And that's exactly what I'm currently going through because without me having to go through that foundation building phase, I wouldn't travel to any of these places. I'm gonna explain exactly why. So, you watching this video, if you're, I don't know, creating your 2026 New Year resolutions, this is the right video for you because I want to help you understand how easy it actually is to just commit for 6 months and then live the rest of your life fairly free, I'd say, because literally in 12 days, I'm going to Thailand. I'm gonna be there for like a month or two. I don't even know. I booked a one-way ticket, and I'm honestly planning to explore that whole part of East Asia, you know? And these few things that I'm gonna talk about in this video helped me achieve exactly that. Exactly that. So, like I said, you can see me here with the boys just, hanging around, traveling, uh, training boxing, educating myself about some world wonders and shit, just living a nice lifestyle. And the way I was able to do it, the first step of how I was able to do so is by mastering the skill. That is absolutely by far the most important thing that you need to take care of when you're, starting your journey. You need to master the skill. Let me explain what that even means, especially in the online space, because, in this world where everyone is just trying to leave their 9 to 5s, which is fair enough, I have to respect that. People usually start with starting their own business. They start, I don't know, an agency. They start some shitty marketing agency thinking, yes, I'm gonna, charge three, four, $5,000 and people are gonna just naturally gravitate towards my services. No, that's absolutely not the case. And please don't do that crap. Why? Because it's fucking oversaturated. It's oversaturated as fuck because every single person is trying to do that, which is exactly why we just need to, I don't know, think outside the box. I've never been good at creating these art things, but hopefully you can get the point, because you just need to think outside the box. Think outside the box and literally pause this video and think, all right, so what do people actually need? They need someone who can, I don't know, benefit their business. So if I have a certain set of skills that I can sell, then businesses would need me. And the fact that this entire business space is saturated gives us an option to propose our skill set to as many businesses as we possibly can. So, like I said, forget about starting the business. Master the skill that people would be willing to pay you for. You know, in this example, that's none other than either appointment setting, which is exactly what I do. Appointment setting, I'm going to explain exactly what it is, or remote closing. Those two are directly related one to another. It's either appointment setting or remote closing. Now, with appointment setting, it's pretty self-explanatory. You set the appointments. You set the appointments where the business owner is supposed to sell his services. So like I said, if you are someone who mastered the skill of setting these appointments, a person such as some big boy CEO who is making, I don't know, 20K a month, someone who is making 20K a month would be happy to pay you 10%, 15%, even more of his income just for you to set the appointments for him where he is going to sell his services. Why? Because he needs to sell his services through these appointments, through sales calls. That's called sales calls. Because if he's charging high ticket prices, meaning that the amount he's charging for is, I don't know, 2K or above, no one's gonna pay that without actually meeting the person face to face. And that's exactly why you start setting the appointments. Remote closer is someone who closes these appointments, literally. And by the way, exactly why I said that one thing is related to another. And me personally, I've been involved in appointment setting for the last 3 years. That's how I built this type of lifestyle where I can travel the world, book a fucking one way ticket to Thailand and explore Asia for 3 months while still making money without taking care of if I'm gonna be able to afford a certain Airbnb or not. If I'm gonna be able to afford a nice steak at the steakhouse. No, you know, I can set the appointments from wherever I want. Now, the reason you might ask, why did you choose appointment setting over remote closing? The reason is simple. As a remote closer, just to cut the bullshit. As a remote closer, you need to be in your office, you need to be in a quiet environment because you need to take these calls. It needs to be professional, you need to be all suited up and stuff. While with appointment setting, you just send messages, book calls through the DMs. It can be, I don't know, mostly it is Instagram DMs. And you book an appointment, it gets closed while, you know, you're, I don't know, in Thailand, just having a steak, being in a gym, and you get commissions. That's exactly why I chose this certain type of skill, because, I can be on the move without being overly professional at all times, And now, when you have that skill that you learn, that you educated yourself about, we get on the second step, which is sell it. Just sell it. You need to find someone who needs setters. Genuinely, just find some people, or no, some businesses actually. Find some businesses who need you. And it's as simple as that. Now, you might think, all right, how will I be able to find them? Yeah, I'm gonna get to that in a sec. But what I'm trying to say is that you are making your money off of the commissions, right? Everything is commission based. Everything, especially at the very beginning. To this day, even after 3 years of being involved in this appointment setting game, I'm still making my money off of the commissions. I'm gonna explain why as well. Easier to sell. It's way easier to sell because it's a no-brainer when you say to someone, bro, I'm gonna book calls for you, you close them, and only after I get paid. He's like, all right, no upfront cost, amazing, can't hurt. So let me get you on board. That's the first part. It's easier to sell. And second part is that it's uncapped earning potential. You literally You literally make as much as you work every single day. I wake up with a purpose, because if I, let's say, have to pay my phone bill, I'm like, all right, my phone bill is, I don't know, £100. I need to make these £100 today. And I wake up with the purpose of making that amount of money because I can. The more I work, listen to this, Matt. The more I work, the better I get, the more I make. Fully performance based thing. Let's say, on the other hand, you get a salary. I'm going to explain exactly why having a salary is not quite good, in my opinion. Because when you have a salary of, just for the easier math, let's say you get paid 1K per month by a business, and he's charging 2K. So if you were to be working for him on 10%, only 10%, that means that you need 5 deals times 200, which is 10% of 2K, of course. You need only 5 deals in an entire month to make 1K. And any other deal that you make after that, you still get paid 1K because you're having a base fee or having a salary. I don't prefer that because I like to make as much as possible, as much as I possibly can. I would rather get in more deals and make more money for myself rather than capping my income at a certain level, which in this case, like I said, for the easier maths would be 1K. And you just sell that. You just sell that. The fact that you're making your money off of the commissions is a simple no-brainer. And what you can do is right now create an opener and start looking for businesses on Instagram. Literally, just create an opener, something that will be like, hey bro, I'm an appointment setter, hire me. Obviously not like that, but you get the point. Volume negates luck. Do as many of that as possible, as many outreaches as you possibly can send. Just send it, and I'm 100% guaranteeing you're gonna find that client within like 2 or 3 weeks. It's just a no-brainer. You create an opener and start sending 100 times a day. Genuinely. Like I said, volume negates luck. 3 years ago, I was going through that. Unfortunately, you gotta go through the same thing if you're starting your journey. It's just inevitable. Because the stronger the foundation you build at the very beginning, the taller the building is going to be. You can't build a skyscraper on a weak foundation. That same way, you can't build a nice, beautiful lifestyle on a weak foundation without actually working for it. I hate these people saying, oh, passive income, you're gonna make 2K, 5K, 10K a month, very first month after you start something. No, that's a bunch of bullshit. Passive income is not even the thing. You need to work on your um, worked income first. You need to make sure that you reach that worked income first before thinking about passive one. Then, third step, after you start selling your stuff, after you start reaching out to people, after you find these businesses, because remember what I said, think outside the box. If there are so many agencies, coaching businesses, course sellers, all these geeky gurus out there, if there are so many of them, think, what do they need? They need someone who's going to provide them with qualified leads, and you be the setter. And that's exactly why this opportunity is so good, because in the world of these businesses just growing and growing and growing with every single day, we have 50 to 100, I'm sure, new businesses being founded. They need salespeople. They truly need salespeople. And once you sell it, you just start working. You genuinely just grind your ass off. Grind your ass off until you prove yourself. You know, it took me around 8 or 9 months to prove myself to the point where I can just be recommended to someone else, which is exactly what we are now looking forward to. You just work, 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 maybe no results. Guess what? You still work because results are eventually going to come. In this industry where it's fully performance based, like I said already, I genuinely never met a single person who didn't succeed, but they tried their best. That thing just doesn't exist. If you try your best, you're surely going to succeed. You know, I can literally jump off a building right now if that's not the case. If you try your best for the next 3 months and you don't succeed, you can just reach out to me and I'm gonna give you whatever you want. Honestly. Whether it's money, whether it's whatever I have, I'm going to give it to you for free because that thing just doesn't exist. And you just work, work, work. You prove yourself on this commission basis deal for the first, I don't know, few months. And once you prove yourself, you start building a network. That's what I'm trying to say. Your network naturally expands, it just grows. Network grows. Oh, damn. Because when you start providing great results to people, when you start scaling them, people are going to talk about, oh, damn, look, there's some new guy on the market. Who is he? Let me give it a look. They go onto your Instagram and they see, oh, damn, a lot of results. I want for this guy to provide me with that exact same results. And your network grows. You become like some new big deal in the market, you know, hot stuff almost. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's exactly where I'm at right now. People actually reach out to me wanting for me to teach them my ways, wanting for me to scale their businesses, wanting for me to, I don't know, provide them with setters that I'm coaching. They just want that because they've seen me providing results, you know, and by doing so, you just build a network. You just build a network of people who know what you're capable of. And then, very fourth step, something that you should be, uh, I'd say, looking for later down the line within a year or so, whenever, obviously, I'd say it's not there's no specific deadline, there's no specific time. You can literally become him within fucking 5 months, or you can become him within a year. I never like to set unrealistic expectations, but the thing is that you just need to become him. You need to adopt the habits of someone who is already successful. Just adopt new habits is what I'm trying to say. It truly, it truly is important for you to adopt the habits of a person you want to become. I'm going to explain why. It's almost like gaslighting yourself into success. You know, if you want to be making 10K a month, you can't be doing things, some activities that 1K a month person would be doing. You know, you just can't. You need to be doing the things that big boys are doing. And that's exactly, by the way, why I'm going to Thailand. I'm going to surround myself with people who are making way more money than I am because, you know, by me surrounding myself with them, I'm gonna feel a bit bitchy not to be at their level, you get me? I'm gonna feel like crap, like I'm not worth it, you know? And I'm naturally gonna adopt their habits and become a person that I want to be, a person that I am aspiring to be. Because 3 years ago, when I started, I was always looking up to someone like I am right now, you get me? 3 years ago, if someone told me, bro, you're gonna be in this exact position you are at right now, I would say like, bro, you're crazy. Because it was just impossible. And that's exactly what you need to be doing, step by step. But first, of course, master the skill. You need to master the skill that people would be willing to pay for. Not necessarily upfront, but something that includes transaction. I give you this, you give me that, you know. In exchange for this, I'll receive that. As a business owner myself, if someone promised me, okay, bro, so pay me 5K and I'm gonna show you exactly how to market your services, which will give you 30K in return, I'll be like, all right, great, let's go. How can I start? Because it's 6x return on investment, you know. And that's the way, if you can prove to someone that if he hires you, you're gonna, I don't know, 2x or 3x his business, it's a no-brainer for him to pay you as much as you want, as long as it mathematically makes sense, you know. Like I said, master the skill, sell it, find some businesses who need you, work, 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 work until you prove yourself on commission basis, and make sure that your network grows. Network is your network. Crucial, crucial thing. And while you're doing so, you are going to realize that you're slowly adopting the habits of someone who you could never imagine you would become, right? Become him. And you know, that's exactly what I've been going through for the last 3 years. And you know, looking forward to seeing what the future has for me. Because if I showed you right now a quick screenshot of me exactly 3 years ago, by the way, I think somewhere in around few weeks it's gonna mark the date of exactly 3 years since I started, you'd be shocked. Because this guy right here is who I was, you know, just a random skinny geek who decided to start his own journey. You know, it was cringe at first, but right now, yeah, you know, I'm very grateful for this journey. And you can absolutely do the same. I was 19 when I started. No matter how old you are right now, you watching this, still, it's never too late. There's never a perfect time to start changing your life. A lot of people wait for the perfect time, which is why they never take action and they just stay at the same place for the rest of their lives. So, to summarize, four different steps, A to Z, literally. Master the skill, sell it, work, 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 and adopt by working, adopt the habits of someone you want to become in order to get to the next level. Because when you do so, this is, by the way, oh shit, I almost forgot. This is crucial. When you adopt the habits, you are capable of upselling yourself. Because when you upsell yourself, it means that you're gonna do some more work for, guess what, even more money, and then you just upsell yourself. Who knows, you can become a sales team director. From being just an appointment setter, you can start implementing the setters, because guess what, your network also grew. You now have a greater network of people that you can now place and be a manager and have more money, and I don't know, expand your horizons, I'd say. But all in all, that's a problem for another day. What you need to do right now is master the skill of appointment setting, which is what I would highly, highly recommend, as it's fully flexible. In case you want to learn more how to master the skill, feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram. It's gonna be down there in the description, Wolf of Croatia, or you can just watch not such a quick video, but it's 90 minutes long video explaining A to Z what is appointment setting even deeper, how to start, explaining even more on how to create openers and send hundreds a day, how to find your first client, and how to actually do the job. I'm gonna paste it somewhere in the description as well, or I don't know, somewhere right here. And yeah, if anything, I'd appreciate you subscribing. Thanks for watching, and you can reach out to me on my IG whenever you want. Take care and keep grinding.